So I'll try it and tell you exactly what it tastes like. Oh God, it is so sour. Very sour and very bitter. We're gonna make it into medicine. So, are you guys wondering what exactly are we picking yet? Well, in Bulgarian, they're called drenki. In English, they are called, basically, they're a berry from the dogwood family. And fun fact, 30 species of animals, including 13 species of birds, actually heavily rely on these berries. And just wait till you see what we humans rely on them for. So I just looked up the translation. In English, it's Cornelian cherry dogwood. And so a couple of you guys probably know about it. It has this flavor similar to like a mix between cranberry and sour cherry. But what we do with it is we make jam. We don't really eat it like this because it's very bitter, however, very healthy. I looked it up in Iran. It says that people actually cook with it. They make rice and other sorts of delicious foods out of it. But we're gonna make a compote, like I said, for anti-constipation. Anti-diarrhea. A tightener. Yeah. Lovely to repeat that word so many times in one day, isn't it? Hey, it's natural. So there you have it. Yes, it's used as a tightener, and we make it into medicine, compote, and jam. Just be careful with the dosage because you guys can imagine why. As fun as all that may be, I decided today let's keep things a little bit more simple, and I'll show you something that you can actually make at home. We'll be making compote out of peaches. Guys, it's not as hard as it sounds. So today we're going to be making compot in Bulgarian, out of peaches. And this is what the final result is going to be. This is from the last batch. Peaches, water, and sugar, essentially. And you have for the whole winter. So, those of you who watched a few of my older videos, the preparation for winter has officially begun. The emphasis I have there on thoroughly is mainly to get off all of that fuzz that the peach has, because if you let that stay, when you make the compote and you boil it, it separates from the peach and it gets into your juice and it's not very pleasant to drink. So make sure you get all that peach fuzz off. Dobre. Mıhı. Again, the washing of your jar is key, even more key than the washing of your peaches, I have to say, because what you're doing here is sterilizing the jar. If you leave anything inside, bacteria can grow and it's going to compromise and destroy your compote. The same goes for when you're making jams and jellies. The difference there is you have to make sure your jar is completely dry with jams and jellies, and it gets a little bit more complicated. You even have to stick it in the oven to make sure they're hot, and then you put the preserve inside while both the jar and the preserve is hot. But that's for another video. In this case, you can leave the jars wet because we're putting water inside, but make sure they are thoroughly, thoroughly washed. Step 3, cut up those peaches. This step is not so much a make it or break it. You just make sure that you cut up the peaches roughly the same size and in a size that you enjoy. We make, normal bite-size slices. 4 ложечки.
Да.
4 spoons of sugar. So it's not too sweet and it's not too unsweet. Ah, the adding of the sugar. Now, this is relative. Everyone decides how much sugar they want to add. We personally like to add 4 tablespoons of sugar. We found that in this size jar, which you can see in the videos, it's not too sweet and it's not too sour because you can hit a peach here and there that's a little bit more sour. So you want the sugar to, cover up the sour flavor. If the peaches are a little bit more sweet, you can add a little bit less sugar, but still, I would say that 4 spoons is a pretty good balance. Now be very careful here because this is a make it or break it. You want to make sure you add just enough water to create the compote without overfilling the jar or underfilling. If you overfill the jar, you risk explosions. Ah, so you put water right up to there, to the... You have to leave like a finger or two for the vacuuming process, for it to be able to get vacuum sealed when you put it to boil. It's really something you could make at home, honestly.
Едно време майка ни даваше на никой да им затваря бурканите, защото не можеха да ги затворят.
Да не остане така да
бомбаши.
So let me translate for you. What she's saying is that long ago when her mom used to do these jars, she would not let anybody seal the jars except for herself because, yeah, it's another key process. If you don't seal them properly, you are going to get bombs again. Also, you're going to get spilled compotes and just a real big mess. So the sealing of the jars is another make it or break it. So they boil for 15 to 20 minutes. And the napkin on the bottom is so that they don't break under the pressure. One exploded, you see? That's what happens when you don't close the cap properly. And this is gonna be our lunch. Something quick and easy. Fried eggplant from the garden with garlic sauce. It's a mess, it's okay. That's how it goes when you're doing 1,000 things at once. Yeah, so that was me emphasizing what not to do, and at the same time, exactly that happened to us. So we did get a bomb. It's pretty normal. It's great if it doesn't happen, but hopefully it won't happen to you guys. Just make sure you put that towel on the bottom to absorb all of the shock, and that's really all there is to it. Oh no, I'm sorry. I forgot the most important part. Open that compote and enjoy. You have it for the whole winter. Not gonna rot. You don't need to refrigerate it until after you open it. And what's the nicest is you know exactly what's in it. No preservatives, no nothing. Just the sugar is not the healthiest, but hey, it's a delicacy. Enjoy.